This list is not about bad luck. Bad luck does not kill 100 people at once. Bad luck does not let a man with a gun walk through a side door and shoot a guitarist dead 90 seconds into the opening song. Every disaster on this list had a warning. Most of them had more than one, and in every case, someone decided not to act on it. This is not a countdown of metal's worst nights. This is the evidence that those nights did not have to happen. Number 10, the Riverport Riot, Guns N' Roses, Maryland Heights, Missouri, July 2nd, 1991. Guns N' Roses in the summer of 1991 were the most dangerous band in the world. That was not a press release. That was a documented fact with a 2-year paper trail. The Use Your Illusion tour had already built a reputation before the St. Louis show. Late arrivals, early walk-offs, Axl Rose versus security, Axl Rose versus the audience, Axl Rose versus whatever was in front of him on any given night. 15 songs into a packed set at the Riverport Amphitheater, during the band's performance of Rocket Queen, Rose spotted a fan near the front with a camera. He called for security. Security did not move fast enough, so Rose took matters into his own hands. He dived off the stage into the crowd, tackled the photographer, grabbed the camera, got hauled back on stage by his crew, grabbed a microphone, and said, "Well, thanks to the lame-ass security, I'm going home." He slammed the microphone down. The band followed him off stage, and I need you to hold that detail for a second. He dove into a crowd of thousands because someone had a camera, and then he quit the show. The crowd responded with a 3-hour riot, seats torn from their moorings and hurled at security. Video screens ripped down, rioters overtaking the stage. 400 police officers called in to contain it. 60 people injured. Between $200,000 and $300,000 in property damage. Rose was charged with 4 counts of misdemeanor assault and 1 count of property damage. He could not be arrested immediately because the band had already left the country for the European leg of the tour. When he was finally arraigned nearly a year later, a judge ruled he had not directly incited the riot. The band was banned from St. Louis. They did not return until 2017. In the liner notes of Use Your Illusion, they left the city a message: "Use St. Louis. No consequences for the person who triggered it. The city absorbed the bill." Number 9. The crash that ended Hanoi Rocks. Vince Neil, Redondo Beach, California, December 8, 1984. Motley Crue and Hanoi Rocks in 1984 were the same species, different countries, same appetite for destruction. Hanoi Rocks were on their first American tour. And it's hard getting through the day. A Finnish glam band that had quietly influenced half the acts in the Los Angeles scene. Their drummer was Nicholas Dingley, known to everyone as Razzle, 24 years old, a player with a career ahead of him. Singer Michael Monroe had fractured his ankle during the tour. The band was off the road temporarily, and Motley Crue's Vince Neil invited them to a party at his home in Redondo Beach. By that evening, both bands had been drinking heavily. When the beer ran out, Neil and Razzle decided to make a run to the liquor store. Neil, with a blood alcohol level of 0.17, well above the California legal limit of 0.10, got behind the wheel of his De Tomaso Pantera. He did not make it to the liquor store.
I'll come home and then nothing will drag me away.
Neil lost control of the car at 65 miles per hour on a road posted at 25. The car hit an oncoming vehicle. Both people in the other car suffered permanent brain damage. Razzle was pronounced dead at South Bay Hospital. He was 24 years old.
I guess that I should have known.
Neil was convicted of vehicular manslaughter and driving under the influence. Sentenced to 30 days in jail, 5 years probation, and $2.6 million in restitution. He served 15 days. You've been told one version of this story. Here is another. Neil himself said it years later. I definitely deserved to go to prison. He acknowledged he got a suntan instead. His words, not mine. Two people in the other car are rarely named in the retrospectives. Two people with permanent brain damage who have almost never been part of the way this story is usually told, and a sentence that should embarrass a traffic court. Hanoi Rocks broke up 6 months after Razzle's death. A band on the verge of breaking through. Gone. Real talk. Only 9% of you are subscribed. That hurts. We're spending hours digging through archives, fact-checking every detail, bringing these stories back to life. And if you're watching this far, you clearly care. So hit subscribe. It's free and takes 2 seconds. Now, to my subscribers, barely any of you have joined the membership. And honestly, that stings even more. You know the work we put in. You keep coming back. If these videos have ever made you feel something, if this music means something to you, join the membership. It's $1 coffee a month and it's the only way we keep this going. Let's build this together. All right, back to it. Number 8. Two fans nobody named Guns N' Roses. Castle Donington, England, August 20th, 1988. There is a pattern on this list. Once you see it, you will not stop seeing it in rock and metal history. August 20th, 1988. The Monsters of Rock Festival at Castle Donington, England. Iron Maiden headlining. 107,000 people on the grounds. A record crowd for the site. Guns N' Roses had been booked 5th on the bill. Between booking and showtime, Sweet Child O' Mine had gone worldwide. By the time GNR walked on stage, 107,000 people did what metal crowds do when the band they came for appears. They move toward the music. The ground was saturated from days of rain before the event. Mud was ankle-deep near the stage. The crowd at the front had nowhere to go. The crush at the barrier went critical within moments of the opening song. Axl Rose paused the set multiple times. He told the crowd, "Don't f***ing kill each other." He could see something was wrong. The band tried to manage it from the stage. What they did not know, what no one on stage knew until after the show, was that 2 young men were already dead. Alan Dick, 18 years old, Landon Siggers, 20, both found crushed into 4 inches of mud, 15 feet from the stage, both pronounced dead on arrival. Slash found out at the hotel bar that night. His tour manager came in crying. That is how he learned that 2 people had died while he was playing guitar. The festival was canceled the following year. An inquest was held, recommendations were made, crowd management guidelines were revised. The industry acknowledged the report and filed it away, and then it kept doing the same thing. Number 7, The 11, The Who, Riverfront Coliseum, Cincinnati, Ohio, December 3rd, 1979. This is older than the rest on this list. It belongs here because of what it should have changed and what it didn't. December 3rd, 1979, Riverfront Coliseum, Cincinnati, Ohio. The Who on tour. More than 18,000 tickets sold. Of those, 14,770 were general admission. No assigned seats. First come, first served. Get there early, get a good spot. The doors were still closed at 7:45 p.m. The Who's sound check was audible from outside the building. The crowd outside, cold, packed together, pushing, heard the warm-up and interpreted it as the show beginning. They surged toward the entrance. General admission means you rush. That is the entire incentive structure built into that ticket. By the time the doors opened, the crush had been building for 30 minutes with nowhere for the pressure to go. 11 people were killed, crushed, asphyxiated, buried under fans who had no idea what was happening in the bodies ahead of them. The fire officials on site told the promoters to go on with the show. The logic was that stopping the event might cause further panic. The Who were not informed of the deaths until after completing their final encore. All 11 victims were between 15 and 22 years old. No criminal charges were ever filed. Here is what most accounts of this story leave out. Riverfront Coliseum had already experienced a dangerous crowd incident 2 years earlier during a Led Zeppelin show. The warning was already in the building's history. Nobody changed the policy. Cincinnati banned festival seating for its venues within weeks of the disaster. That ban held for 25 years. And here is the detail that matters for this list. The ban only applied to Cincinnati. It did not travel. The city heard the lesson. The question is whether anyone else did. Number 6. 3 teenagers during Thunderstruck AC's DC. Salt Palace, Salt Lake City, Utah. January 18, 1991. 12 years. That is how long the Cincinnati lesson lasted outside of Cincinnati. January 18, 1991. The Salt Palace in Salt Lake City. AC's DC on the Razor's Edge World Tour. One of the biggest bands in the world, riding one of the biggest records of their career. 13,294 fans in the building. The show was booked as a general admission event. No assigned seats on the floor. Same structure as Cincinnati, same incentive, same crowd behavior. The band took the stage. The opening song was Thunderstruck. The crowd surged forward at the first note. The crush at the front went critical within seconds. 3 fans were killed. 2 of them were 14 years old. Elizabeth Glousy was 19. Curtis Child was 14. Jimmy Boyd was 14. They died during the opening song. It took 26 minutes before venue staff and the band understood the severity of what was happening in front of them. AC/DC was advised to keep playing. The same logic Cincinnati applied in 1979. Stopping might cause more chaos than continuing. They played 3 more songs before pausing. Malcolm Young, AC/DC's rhythm guitarist, was reportedly so distressed by the deaths that he refused to discuss the event in any interview for the rest of his career. His silence outlasted his tenure with the band. The families of all 3 victims filed lawsuits against AC/DC and Salt Lake County. The cases were settled out of court. General admission seating at rock shows continued across the United States. You see it now. I know you do. 11 people died in Cincinnati because of this setup in 1979. A city responded, and in 1991, 3 teenagers died at the first note of Thunderstruck at a metal show that was run the exact same way. The lesson that had already been paid for once was not applied. Number 5, the largest metal show in history, Monsters of Rock, Tushino Airfield, Moscow, September 28, 1991. Here is where the numbers become difficult to picture. September 28, 1991, Tushino Airfield, Moscow. 1 month after a failed coup attempt had nearly reversed the dissolution of the Soviet Union. And somehow, in the middle of all of that, Metallica, AC/DC, Pantera, and the Black Crowes were booked to play a free, open-air concert on a former military airfield. Free entry, no infrastructure, no crowd barriers worth the name, no toilets. The stage itself was the only thing built for the occasion. How many people came? Official estimates said 500,000. Other accounts said closer to 700,000. Crowd figures cited for peak attendance go as high as 1.6 million. The precise number was never confirmed. What is confirmed is what the footage shows: bodies stretching to the horizon in every direction the camera could reach. Organizers deployed 11,000 soldiers, riot police, and military units to maintain order. Helicopters circled low overhead. It looked, as one witness put it, like the opening of an apocalyptic film. Pantera opened the show. Within minutes of their set, fights broke out between fans and Interior Ministry troops. Conscripts with clubs who decided the clubs needed to be used. Bottles were thrown, people were beaten, the soldiers were beaten back. By the end of the night, accounts reported 46 fractured skulls among those seeking medical care. 76 people needed treatment, 49 were hospitalized, 51 were arrested. No one was killed. Sit with that. The largest metal gathering in recorded history produced fractured skulls and no fatalities. The margin between what happened that night and a mass casualty event is measured in fractions of a degree. The organizers called it a success. History called it historic. It was both of those things. It also represents exactly what this list is about: the willingness to build something enormous with no plan for when it goes wrong. Moscow got away with it. Number 4. The night Montreal burned Metallica and Guns N' Roses. Olympic Stadium, Montreal, August 8, 1992. This one is famous. You know part of it. Here is the part that tends to get cleaned up in the retelling. August 8, 1992. Olympic Stadium, Montreal. 55,000 people. The Guns N' Roses and Metallica Stadium Tour. The two biggest acts in hard rock sharing a stage on the same night.
Oh God, please make them hear me. They won't listen.
Earlier that day, Metallica's crew briefed the band on the evening's pyrotechnics. They had increased the number of aluminum powder charges for the show, adding new positions at the front of the stage, in addition to the existing positions on the wings.
This terrible silence stops in there. Now,
What the crew did not do, inform Hetfield specifically where the new front of stage charges were placed. During Fade to Black, 12 songs into a 20-song set, Hetfield stepped backward into a 12-foot torch of fire.
Keeps on living.
His double-necked ESP guitar deflected the worst of the blast to his left side. Second and third degree burns to his hand, arm, face, and hair. Bassist Jason Newsted said afterward, if he had been breathing in, he would have been dead.
They won't hear me.
The band left the stage. Lars Ulrich took the microphone and told 55,000 people that Hetfield was on his way to the hospital. GNR, co-headlining the show, refused to move their set time forward. They finally took the stage 2 hours after Metallica had left. Axl Rose played 9 songs. Then he told the crowd his vocal monitors were inadequate and his voice was giving out. He said, "This will be our last show for a long time," and walked off. Follow this. A critical communication failure by the pyro crew nearly killed the singer of one of the biggest bands on earth, and the co-headliner, who had every reason to step up, chose not to. What followed was a 3-hour riot. Tear gas deployed by Montreal police. $400,000 in property damage. 10 people injured, dozens arrested. Hetfield returned to the stage 17 days later in Phoenix on vocals only. Metal Church guitarist John Marshall covered guitar duties for 4 weeks while Hetfield's nerve damage healed. The crew made an error. GNR made a choice. 55,000 people in Montreal got tear gas.
Keeps on living.
Number 3. The Night Dimebag. Darrell was killed. Damage plan. Alrosa Villa, Columbus, Ohio, December 8, 2004. You know this guitarist. You know this story. You have carried it since you first heard it. But knowing the story and knowing the truth behind it are 2 completely different things. Let me give you the truth. December 8th, 2004. The Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. Damage plan. The band formed by Dimebag Darrell Abbott and his brother Vinnie Paul after Pantera dissolved, playing the 34th date of their Devastation Across the Nation tour. Venue capacity, 600. Tickets sold, 250. Crowd by showtime, around 400. Here is what the record shows, and most accounts skip. 8 months before this night, a man named Nathan Gale rushed the stage at a Damage Plan show in Cincinnati, Ohio. He destroyed $1,800 in lighting and stage equipment before security removed him. Damage Plan decided not to press charges. They did not want to return to Cincinnati for court proceedings. Nathan Gale had a documented prior incident involving this band. On the books, Damage Plan chose to walk away from it. At 10:15 p.m. on December 8th, Damage Plan took the stage. Gale had been denied entry at the door. He jumped a 6-foot fence, entered through a side patio door, and walked across the floor, past the pool tables, past the sound booth, past the bar. Multiple witnesses said he looked like he was walking into battle. 90 seconds into the opening song, he shot Dimebag Darrell Abbott in the head. In the 3 minutes that followed, 3 more people died. Security Chief Jeffrey Mayhem Thompson, who tried to tackle Gale, club employee Aaron Hulk, who tried to restrain him, fan Nathan Bray, who jumped on stage to reach Darrell. Officer James Niggemeyer entered through the rear of the building. He took 1 shot with his Remington 870 shotgun. It was over in 3 minutes. Dimebag Darrell Abbott was 38 years old. Rolling Stone ranked him among the 100 greatest guitarists. Metal Hammer ranked him number 1. And the date, December 8th, the same date Razzle died in that car in 1984. The same date John Lennon was shot in 1980. You are connecting this to something else right now. Good. The warning was there. 8 months before Columbus, a man rushed the Damage Plan stage and no charges were pressed. He came back. He came in through a side door. And the most important thing I can tell you about this entry is this. The responsibility for what happened that night did not belong only to the man with the gun. Number 2, 64 in Bucharest, Goodbye to Gravity, Colectiv Nightclub, Bucharest, Romania, October 30th, 2015. This is the pattern I mentioned at entry 8. Pay attention to this part. October 30th, 2015, Halloween Eve, the Colectiv Nightclub in Bucharest, Romania, a basement venue inside a communist-era factory. Romanian metalcore band Goodbye to Gravity was celebrating the release of their album Mantras of War with a free show. Pyrotechnics planned for the performance. 300 to 400 people packed inside with one main exit. The indoor pyrotechnics ignited polyurethane foam insulation on the venue's support pillars. The ceiling caught. The singer looked at the flames and made a quick joke. This wasn't part of the program. 1 second later, he asked for a fire extinguisher. The ceiling was fully engulfed within seconds. The official initial death toll was 27. The actual final toll was 64. Deaths continued in hospitals for weeks from burns and infections, in part because Romanian hospital disinfectants were later found to have been systematically diluted. The failure ran all the way down through every institution that was supposed to stop this. Two of Goodbye to Gravity's guitarists, Mihai Alexandru and Vlad Talea, died in the fire. Drummer Bogdan Inache died on November 8th during emergency transport. The band that booked the show did not survive it as a band. Investigations found the club was operating without proper fire safety authorizations. Multiple official inspections had cleared the building anyway. The inspectors had accepted bribes. The protests that followed were some of the largest in Romanian history. Over 100,000 people in the streets. The Prime Minister resigned. Now hear this. 12 years before Bucharest, 100 people died at a rock show in West Warwick, Rhode Island, for the exact same reason. Same ignition source, same foam, same single exit bottleneck, same crowd that believed the fire was part of the show. The lesson from West Warwick was documented, published, and available to every venue operator on Earth. It was not applied in Bucharest, because no one made anyone apply it. 64 people died, and the fire that killed them already had a name. They just hadn't heard it yet. Number 1. 100 People Great White, the Station Nightclub, West Warwick, Rhode Island, February 20th, 2003. February 20th, 2003, 11 p.m., the Station Nightclub, West Warwick, Rhode Island. Jack Russell's Great White took the stage. Their traditional opener, Desert Moon. Tour manager Daniel Beakley ignited 4 pyrotechnic devices as the song began. Standard part of the show. The devices sent sparks into the walls beside the stage. The walls were lined with 2.5 inches of polyurethane foam, installed by the club owners to reduce noise complaints from neighbors. The building was fully engulfed in 6 minutes. 100 people died, 230 were injured, around 460 people were in the building, 132 got out without injury. Great White's lead guitarist, Ty Longley, was among the dead. Now hear the record. The venue had been inspected 3 months before the fire. The inspector did not cite the foam, did not cite the absence of a sprinkler system, marked the building all okay. Great White had been denied permission to use pyrotechnics at other venues on this same tour. The Stone Pony in Asbury Park, New Jersey said no, citing safety concerns. 6 days before West Warwick, the band used pyrotechnics at a different venue without that venue's permission.
You didn't know what rock and roll was until
Nobody pulled the permit. Nobody canceled the act. Daniel Beachley pleaded guilty to 100 counts of involuntary manslaughter, sentenced to 15 years. He served 2. Club co-owner Michael Derderian received 4 years, served 2 years and 9 months.
that rock and roll burned. So you bought a candle and you lit.
His brother Jeff Derderian received a suspended sentence. The civil settlement reached $176 million. A memorial park was dedicated on the site in 2017, 14 years after the fire. Some people call this a tragedy, a word that implies inevitability. That is not what happened here. This is a venue that knew about the foam, a band that had already been told no elsewhere on the same tour, an inspector who missed every violation, and a legal system that assigned 100 deaths a penalty of 2 years served. The math said compliance cost more than the risk. The math was wrong. It has always been wrong, and the people who ran it are the reason this list exists.